Subcribe magazine. But for most of you, you don't care about that. You care about who I'm about to bring out for you. So let us, first of all, let's bring out the queen of meme, the big bad mama of space. She's Anna, she's Marina Baccarin. The daughter of the revolution, the hottest alien since Elian Gonzalez. She is Laura Vandervoort. All right. Oh, granny goodness. Our reigning bee goddess, our first taste of bee juice. She's the one and only Diana, Miss Jane Badler. And the equally talented and equally lovely executive producer who's going to give us all sorts of scoop. Executive producer Stephen Perlman. Alright. First of all, can we just take a second for this? Total equal. Right. So, what's up, bitches? What up? So, for Steve, first of all, what were your biggest challenges coming into the second season? I want to talk to me first. Make them wait. It's all about the tease.
The biggest challenge coming into the second season was really figuring out where we were going to go, where we left off. Anna pressed the button. She released the red sky prematurely, and we kind of had to deal with that. So that kind of gave us our launching pad for the second season. How's that? The release of the Red Sky gave us a whole launching pad for the second season, and it was really about figuring out and mapping out the first where we were going to go for the whole season, which was something that we had the opportunity to do this year, which we didn't really have last year. May, June, July was really about mapping out the season, the whole season, and knowing where we were going to go.
All right, so Marina.
Facebook.
How's the rat scene going?
Let's just say I had a really unpleasant day at work the other day. Not that much fun to do that.
Are we going to see this? Is this going to be a thing?
Well,
we did have a rat on set one day. And Marina came over to me and said, I was told it was going to be a mouse.
I mean, okay, that's what I'm saying, with the tail. That's not a mouse.
But they bonded.
And I'm talking about a rat here.
It was a white rat. It was not a dark sewer rat.
No, it wasn't. It was white. And that's all I'm going to say. And it had beady little red eyes.
So now that Anna has human emotions, and we now know she's also barren, does this mean... Like, what a waste, right?
Barren.
What does this mean for Anna's reign? And if she can feel love, does this mean she could fall in love?
Clearly she's in love with Chad Decker. No, I think that would be the next interesting thing for Anna to fall in love, or to feel a human connection, human emotion connection to another human being, whether it be a male or whether it be a child or something. And I think that that is going to be something, or a female. Hey, you never know.
But a human.
But a human, exactly. And to feel that sort of connection, I think that would be a really interesting place to go. We'll see.
Laura, Joshua referred to Lisa as his queen in the finale. Are there other members of this group that might think you're the queen?
Well, I think everyone should think I'm the queen, but
On set, she's the queen.
it doesn't happen in real life.
I hear you.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite things that happened last season, the fact that Joshua called her my queen. And I think that really reminded the audience that she is of royal blood and she is able to take over and be groomed for queen. That was a great moment, and we had a little Anna nod in there where she does with me very often is lift my chin or brush my hair back. So to show that she is next in line, I sort of raised Joshua's chin. It was very simple, but it was a big scene for Lisa.
And very threatening to me.
Yes. And I don't think there's anyone else that refers to her as queen yet. But they will.
All right, so we saw you flying last night. How about that? So what's more fun, playing like the nice, clean girl with the half top, or the not so squeaky clean girl with the half tops?
Oh boy, so many options. Actually, I didn't see the episode last night, but I hope it turned out well. I hope you guys liked it. You know, I have to say I love to play evil.
I didn't see it.
I haven't really had a chance to play evil yet, except when St. Clair's on Red Kryptonite, or trying to take my mother out. But which may happen a lot this season. I don't know. That's the goal.
Trying being the opposite word?
No, I'm not trying. I will succeed. But I don't have a preference. Sci-fi is great. I love just being in that genre. So.
For the two of you, for Maria and Laura, you guys, your resume is filled with sci-fi stuff. What is it about the genre that keeps pulling you back in?
Awesome women characters.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, here I am again.
So, welcome back.
It's so good to be back. Yeah, so good to be back.
How close is this Diana to the one that we met in '83?
Well, obviously it's me, so if it's me, I'm going to bring elements of myself to any role that I play. But I've been told in a very strong way that this is a different Diana. And initially, they called the character Diana as a homage to my character. But then I had to win the role among a lot of other people who auditioned for it. But I think coming back as a different Diana, but also resonating from 27 years ago, makes the role so much more powerful. She's different, she's older, she's wiser, she has more restraint, more discipline, more patient. And I think that's maybe more fair in her judgment.
Less eyeshadow.
Still a lot of eyes happening.
I know that in space,
Yeah.
apparently, they still have fishnets.
Absolutely. Fishnets, stilettos, all good, right?
So what did you think when you heard that they were doing a reboot of this iconic miniseries and series?
Which is so weird. I had like this unbelievably powerful connection. My heart was palpitating like some lover had come back. I couldn't believe how strongly I felt. Like it was sort of like I hadn't quite finished my business yet, you know, on Earth. So I just have to say that I did fight for it a bit, you know. I called the producer. I don't know where I got the chutzpah. I was living in Australia at the time. And, you know, contacted the producer, and I think eventually that was a good thing, because when I auditioned, they knew me and they could connect with me, and here I am, so it's just fantastic.
Now, Miranda told the crowd at one of the cons that working with you gave her goosebumps. So what's it like working with this crew?
I get goosebumps working with her, too. Maybe I'll be the one she has the thing with, huh? Yeah, little mother-daughter. Hey, this is the producer. I might give him some ideas.
What is it getting really weird?
skin crawl, and I'm not making a pun. Like,
Wow, that was a good
some of the
one.
stuff that she,
Yeah, it's kind of like Greek tragedy. I mean, the women and all the different power struggles between us. It's fantastic.
Well, that's something I wanted to ask. You know, obviously, Mommy Dearest here. When Grandmommy Dearest finds out what she has done to Lisa, are we going to see Diana and Lisa kind of coming at...
That's a good idea.
I don't know.
Hey, don't give them any ideas.
Well, here's the next thing, is that if Diana gets freed
Like
from
an idiot. Freaking lesbian shit.
For dungeon.
will she want to regain a little bit more power?
Oh my God, yes, absolutely.
She's got the shoes for it.
That is, we are the queen. The queen, the driving factor behind the queen is power and control of our race. So that's genetically I'm programmed to strive for that, absolutely. And, you know, we share a mutual hate of the same person, so.
But what happens if you want to take the throne? Where does that leave me?
Oh, I'll be good to you, baby.
Maybe you two should fight.
They're so cute.
That
when
might be
they're
season
young.
3.
Season 3.
Oh, I'm just gonna have to keep waiting. The queens keep popping up.
I hear you.
I think that's a good problem to have, Mom.
This is going so horribly wrong.
So horribly
This just
right.
became like an HBO show.
See what happens when you get the 3 chicks out? Out of our cages?
You know, we just saw that clip, which was amazing, and it seems like you're really ramping up some storytelling. But you left us with some major imagery in the finale. How soon into season 2 are we going to see a full-on alien invasion?
We're not going to see a full-on alien invasion for a long time. Starting in episode 1, we're going to see red sky, which you saw in the clip, and generally what happens when you have red sky and red clouds, you will get rain. The title of the first episode is actually Red Rain. So we'll see what happens when the skies open up, and that wasn't necessarily part of Anna's plan. Eventually it was Anna's plan, but certainly not this quick. So what happens in season 2 is really a lot about watching Anna have to make up for the fact that she acted too quickly in the season finale, and the repercussions of that, and how the fifth column responds in kind.
And for Brian and Laura, how does season 2 feel for you guys already? How different does it feel from this first season?
It's very fast. Every day on set, we are doing some crazy stunt, or blowing something up, or killing somebody, or doing something. I mean, it's completely insane. It's fast-paced. It's there's not a moment to like take your eye away from the screen for a second, and the story is developing very quickly.
And for Lisa, I mean, she's sort of figured out what she wants, what side she's definitely on, how she feels about her mother. She's making her own judgments. It's a very mature Lisa this season. She's being groomed for the throne, but she's still very conflicted. Alas.
So, 12 of Anna's eggs survived. What is the gestation period? And will they all look the same? Are we clone baby eggs? Are we baby lizard?
In the first episode, we'll find out that 6 of the 12 soldiers have survived, and
that's it. That's what you're going to find out.
that's what we're going to find
Ladies
out.
and gentlemen, ta-da! Yeah, there's some. It's right in the first episode. I mean, you don't have to wait too long for it, but yeah, there's some reveals about that.
The gestation period, actually, which was kind of what your original question was, is very quick. If you really do a timeline of our show from the pilot all the way through to where we are right now, we're shooting episode 6 of our second season. Probably only about 30 days have gone by, because usually our episodes end one day and we pick up the next, and there's an awful lot of Saturdays in there too. Erica is not working, or Tyler's home from school or something kind of cheated, but yeah, the eggs were conceived and hatched very quickly, and similarly last season, Valerie's baby happened very quickly. And Valerie's baby, which we will be playing with this year in the new season, we're also going to see will grow rather quickly.
We are going to see a full lizard, right?
At some point. We're showing, I mean, you saw it in the clips here today, we are going to be showing more and more of what's underneath in the various parts of the body that are underneath the human skin. And I think what our goal is there is to, and hopefully by the end of the season you'll get to see a lot more of it. It's not going to be what you think it is.
That's one thing I took from this clip. Does the human skin guarantee the V's gender?
Changes so much.
Good question. So I'm really a man, is what you're saying?
There is going to be something very interesting that we're going to learn in about the 6th or 7th episode of the season that does have to do with gender, and that's where we start to really peel back the mythology of why Tyler is designated as the one. And there's a very interesting kind of scientific thing that deals with gender in that episode.
And so 6 episodes in, Jane, can you give us a hint as to anyone else in the cast that you have filmed with?
Well, so far that's the only person I've filmed with. Because I'm kept in secret. Everyone thinks I'm dead.
Actually, you had a scene with another
Oh, I
character.
did. Oh my God, I did. That was a huge scene.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, it was a new character.
Yeah.
But Diana got to show a little teeth.
Yay!
So the new character, we talking about Brett Harrison's character?
No.
Okay, so let's talk about this Brett Harrison character. He's coming on.
He's not here.
Yes, he's not here, so we can talk about him. Survivors. Evolutionary biologist or something along the line of very Jurassic Parky kind of thing. Also, fetching young men. Now that we've got Lisa feeling all sorts of things.
You should come out and be a writer in Burbank.
or for daytime. If they're feeling stuff and she's got this guy and there's this other guy, can you give us any ideas to where the younger generation is going?
Sure. Laura doesn't know any of this yet.
Oh.
No, well, we set up this whole thing with Lisa and Tyler last year. At the end of the season, we kind of brought Joshua in and suggested that maybe there might be something with Lisa and Joshua, but then of course Joshua kind of took a bullet at the end of the season. We'll see where that goes this season. There also may be some other young suitors for Lisa along the way, but Tyler's still really the picture. And as might normally happen in a situation like that, when it's right for one of them, the timing might be off for the other.
But Lisa is going through some changes this season.
Lisa gets a great puberty story.
It's wonderful to do that on television.
Episode 3 this year.
Yeah, it's a fun little scene for her because she's obviously hasn't been informed of what happens during this cycle, so she's a little shocked, and Mother, explains it to her in her own way. Creepy. That's what I mean by her own way.
Marina, has anyone told you to start training for a possible Anna Erica smackdown?
No. But we do have quite a few confrontations coming up. not necessarily, you know, smackdown confrontations, but very deep-rooted, and there's stuff underneath, you know. So we'll see where it goes at the end. I mean, I haven't read all the scripts yet. You never know.
All right. And Steve, can you give us any scoop on casting? Because a lot of people are wondering where the hell Mark Singer is.
Jane.
Steve.
We've got Nick Lee is coming back this year for a couple episodes. We introduced him last year as Erica's ex-husband. He'll be back with us for a couple episodes. We've got Oded Fair is joining the cast for an arc. Brett Harrison, you mentioned, and we're only halfway through our order, so we've got a lot of room for other possibilities in the second half of the season.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm going to turn it over to the audience.
Jay Carnes too. Sorry, Jay Carnes is joining the cast.
Nice. All right, you're right here. I'm giving it to you guys because it's about you guys, and so I think we are getting ready to take some audience questions. I don't know where they feel lined up.
Why that guy never does.
Okay.
Yeah, just to raise your hand.
Sure.
I don't know. You mean that?
There you go. Line up.
You
Line
can
up
if you
with the
want.
mic.
Where's the mic?
Over there.
Hello.
Hi.
Right here.
I hope my English will
Over
be
there
good
and
enough
over
because
there.
I'm kind of nervous. And I'm French, so...
Yep. Right here. It starts the line.
So, I have two questions actually. Number one, the resistance kind of sucks, I think. If you go on the ABC forum, V forum, and I'm an addict, like everybody's just against the resistance because it doesn't look like a resistance. Like the old V in the 80s, you know, Donovan, Juliette Parrish, and everybody, they were really a resistance.
Yep.
And there was a strong bond, kind of, between Diana and Mark Singer, or, you know, and I was wondering if the resistance will be a resistance, really. Like, not only for people trying to think about it, but just... I love being an addict, to be honest, but, you know. Yeah.
You had another question too?
I have another question. The thing is, I know Jane, I was going to say Diana, but I know Jane, and I love you, Jane. I mean, since I was 6, and the thing is, I watched V in the 80s in French, so I know her voice in French.
Oh no, how does it sound?
It's very different. It's very different. Like, both of them are awesome. And I was wondering, number one, when is it going to be released in France? Are they still waiting? And if the voice will be the same? It's just...
Oh, you're asking me that.
So you have two questions.
Well, Steve?
In terms of the first question, in terms of resistance, yes. For people, a resistance does not make. That is something that our little ragtag group realizes pretty early in the second season, and that is their arc. The fifth column's arc for season 2 is about the globalization of the fifth column. That's where Oded Fair's character is going to come into play. We are going to several different international locations and we will meet other fifth column cells that are around the world, and we will see how our group kind of fits into the bigger picture and starts to assimilate more and more kind of resistance power. So yes, absolutely, completely agree. In terms of France and when the show will be released there, I believe it's being released, it may have even been released already. I know it's...
Now, TF1 bought the rights, but they have to dub it, so I'm
it was just released in Belgium, or it just started airing in Belgium recently. I know it was in Great Britain several months ago.
I think it's January, because I was doing
Oh.
that press
So
tour this summer,
it's-
and I think it's January.
It's coming out.
Coming up.
Merci beaucoup.
Sorry for the whole awkward thing before. First of all, Marina, you are so fierce. Like, you are flawless. I just watched that show and I'm like, how does she do it? Like, it's, okay, anyway. I'm very curious as to Lisa's character. Like, does she age the same way humans do? Like, how old is Lisa exactly? Like, is she just like...
I under the understanding that I was 17.
Like in V years too.
As a human, but in V, I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm like 1,000
She's
and something.
younger
Wow.
than Anna.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at us, obviously I'm not old enough to be Laura's age, Laura's mother, but so I think it's about, like, it's all relative to lizard years, you know? So like, I could be 100, she could be maybe 80.
They're making us
I'd say more 50 for me.
Okay.
I'd say 200 for me.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know.
But I guess the aging process must be faster with the eggs being...
Aging, I mean, the aging process is very different for the V's. Anna is
12.
mature, and Lisa is just coming into puberty. So I'm not sure the V's necessarily ascribe years to that in the same way as humans.
So Lisa still is a teenager, like in V years?
Yep.
Yeah, human years? All right.
I didn't know that, so that's good.
You said that we're going to see the bee's actual like lizard body, but are we also going to see how they put on their human skin?
Yes, I mean, the V's don't really put on human skin. That was something that we laid out last year. I think it was even in the pilot. They clone human skin, and that is something that we are going to see in the first episode, actually.
Twofold question. Is Lisa and Tyler going to have a baby?
I knew that was going to come out.
And are we going to see any more of the original cast members possibly make a guest appearance besides Rain?
Or Friday.
The answer to both questions would be, I don't know. Maybe.
Robert England.
Yeah, quite possibly. I don't know.
Thank you.
No, there's actually a microphone. I'm so sorry, guys. I had no idea. And I'll get going. Let's take those guys.
It's so dark out there.
I have a question for Laura.
Wear reflective clothing.
Which part do you find more challenging? That of playing a Supergirl or playing a Future Queen? And I wanted to be so bold to see if I could get an autograph name tag that you have since everyone knows you already.
Of course. Yes.
No.
Which did I prefer? Or
Well, which one's more
more
challenging?
challenging. When I first did Smallville, I was fairly new. Still, I mean, I've been acting since I was 13, but I was terrified working with that cast. So I would say that was challenging in terms of a learning process. The special effects with the flying, the harness work, all of that. But with V, it's a whole different character. It's such a great show. It was challenging at the beginning to be in this show in terms of playing an alien with subdued emotions, and you know, that can be difficult, and at least Lisa gets to show emotion now. But every role for me is a challenge at the beginning, and it's great if it can continue to challenge me. So yeah. So everything I do is challenging, pretty much.
I saw this in San Diego. They actually asked for the name tag and the autograph of Alison Mack. I didn't know if I could steal yours.
Yeah.
Everybody knows you, so you don't need it.
Sure.
That'd be awesome. See, I'm
Yeah.
so bold.
Do you want your name on it?
Nice.
Yeah,
because if you go to
Blowing his hand, dude.
Let's get the question. Yeah, we can go.
Kick him in the
Take one
head.
more over here.
All right. First of all, thank you for coming in the NYCC Comic Con. And I have two questions for the cast. One, what is your favorite scene that you've done so far on the show? And two, what has been your favorite piece of dialogue that you've delivered?
Kill them all. You killed them.
For me, there's a lot to choose from. Somewhere between using my tail to kill that guy and punching my daughter in the face. And I just think it's funny. I mean,
I didn't think it was very good.
funny, not like, haha, that's hilarious because I punched you, but funny because, like, you know, it's shocking. It's like a shocking moment, and I just go, bam! I mean, it's crazy. Or laying eggs, you know, I don't know. One of the three.
Marina, you forgot about me. Didn't you punch me too?
I just wasn't going to give that away.
Oh.
But now you've done it.
Just a bit of a puncher, aren't you?
What about your favorite scene or
Well, I think my favorite scene is probably when I got to use those fangs. That was really fun. So I'd have to say that was great. And my favorite line was probably a scene where Marina leaves me in the dungeon and I go, tick tock, tick tock. I think maybe that's it.
boy? I always say the one where you hit me, but I feel like that's sad. So
What about your love scenes? Are those your favorite?
I don't talk about those. My grandma watches, so.
I love that scene where you were all beat up and you're laying on the table. And
Yeah, I think last
Tyler,
season.
so sweet.
Yeah, one of my favorite scenes from last season was once I had been beaten and Erica was holding me in the healing center, and you see her cry and she's so weak, and the audience finally felt for her. But recently there's been a scene that I really enjoyed, the one with you where I wake up and something's happening and I don't know how to feel about it, and she's standing in the corner like a creepster. You know, that was fun because there is something you've never seen happen to Lisa before in that scene that the audience is going to think is really cool, and I think is really cool. Some special effects stuff. So.
What about the dialogue?
Oh, I say yes, mother, very often. So not that. Probably the scene you guys just saw with Erica. When I say I can't do this, I'm a visitor, because it has so many implications and so many double entendres and meanings. And yeah, there's a lot going on in that scene. You have to watch it. So.
They don't care.
Vengeance.
Nice. All right.
Thank you.
I have two questions for Marina. First of all,
One question.
shout out to
Just ask
all the people in
one.
Brazil. And also, what's going to be the relationship between you and your mother Diana throughout the season?
We have a very complicated relationship, like any mother-daughter relationship. She certainly knows how to push my buttons. It'll develop, I'm sure, as the season goes on. We haven't had too many scenes yet because we were still shooting, but just very complicated, and I think she's the only character that you'll see Anna maybe lose her cool with a little bit. You know, she gets to her.
You're like a real mother.
Like a
I mean,
real mother,
that's the
yeah.
interesting thing about it. Even if you're a lizard, you still have a mother.
Yes.
You know, that
Can I quote
affects
you
you.
on that?
That affects you. Mothers affect us.
They do, yeah.
Hi, thank you. This question is to Steve, and then it'll kind of branch out to the rest of you. I remember watching Jane back in 1984. It's actually one of the reasons why I went into television, watching TV as a child. With the expensive productions today, you seem to be relying more on special effects and CG to tell your story. How is it to work for the actors? How is it to work on a virtual set where you're like with green screen everything behind you? And then I guess my question is, we've seen red sky. Will we see red dust?
Red what, I'm sorry?
Thank
We've
you.
seen red sky. Will we see red dust?
Red dust.
Well, red dust, as Jane remembers, from the original series.
We see red sky and we will see red rain in the first episode. We aren't doing the red dust. In terms of the green
Dude,
screen,
man, sit down, fool.
the ladies can probably answer the question better than I, because I get to sit behind the monitor and watch. But it's a big green room, probably the size of this room, where we laugh about it when we're on set. That really the only thing on set is Anna and her desk. And we were shooting a scene last week where we actually took the desk away, and Miranda was very sorry to see her desk go, because I put it in security.
Yeah, so it's grounding to have a physical object in the room. I mean, it really is daunting to be in a huge room that is this big and twice as tall, and it's all neon green, and you kind of go a little bit insane. And you're standing there and you're doing these scenes, and you're like, where am I? What am I doing? It's really, really, oh yeah, and like being able to like, you know, what you guys see is us walking down a hallway and into a room, and what we're doing is walking in a circle around a big green room.
They put tape to tell us where the walls are, so we don't walk in the walls. And it's not because we're, you know, I'm blonde or anything.
Well,
They're really
the
using
scene that
their
we played for you
imagination.
today, for example, where Anna's tail comes out, that was 20 guys standing in a V formation in the middle of a green soundstage. There was no tail, obviously, and the director basically said, move your body as you would if you were...
no, he didn't say move your body. He said, can you give me a little tail act?
Okay. Yeah, but we just had a sexual harassment seminar the other day.
Yeah, that's true. That's not what he said. That was very challenging. I've never had to do tail acting before.
You did that very well.
I was like, what does that mean? Do you want me to like swish it around or like grab it and hit him? Like what does one do with the tail?
We were spraying blood, so
Yes,
we,
that
had,
was
we had that all over. That scene, by the way, took 10 hours to shoot.
Yeah, that guy had to be in that lizard suit for 10 hours.
Thank you.
Poor guy.
This is first a comment and then a question. Thanks, Mr. Perlman, for bringing the classic Queen of V to mix in with the new cast. It's going to be great to see.
Jane earned this part and she deserves it. And,
Oh, I wholeheartedly agree.
When we saw her audition for this, there was absolutely no question that she is this character.
My question, though, is it's pretty obvious network television does not really give science fiction much of a break anymore. V squeaked by with the renewal, with its ratings dropped. If by chance the viewers don't come back, is there a game plan to try and maybe move it to the CW or Sci-Fi Channel?
Hey, let's
if
not
ABC
talk
can?
about that yet.
It's just that I love the show so much, I don't want to lose it.
I understand your fear. We all have that fear. There was other shows we loved. I know.
I can't really speak in terms of contingency plans. We're doing our best to try and make sure that an audience will come back to watch the show this fall when we premiere, actually next month, and stay with us. I mean, Miranda spoke earlier about the pace and the intensity of some of the stories that we're doing this year. You got a taste of it in the clips that we showed. It's been pretty non-stop relentless in terms of the storytelling this year. I think that we were talking to a couple folks before we came in here and about kind of the last 2 or 3 episodes of the first season. And I'd say if that was a 6 or a 7, then we're probably up around a 9 this year. We really want to give the audience more visual effects. We want to give the audience Jane Badler. We want to give the audience relationships and stories that are the kind that you have to tune in every week to see.
Thank you very much.
We're at the end, guys. I'm sorry. So I just want to give these guys one chance. Do you guys want to say anything to the crowd before we go?
Thank you.
I love you. I'd like to thank all the fans because, you know, I think they were integral also to me getting this role. They've shown incredible support and Facebook and writing to the producers. So I just want to thank you all so much for being behind me.
They usually take photos. Hold on. Go to the front.
They said that they have to clear out work.
Yeah, I know, but they usually pose.
Oh, okay. I think maybe
and the signing is going to be in 1C05.
All right, everybody should be clearing the hall now. Everybody should be clearing the hall. Let's break this up. Everybody should be clearing the hall. Let's break this up.